Hey everybody, this is Perch, and a pair of Marvel news, unrelated, but we'll do it two in one. First, we are going to talk about Jonathan Hickman's Inferno because we have a little bit more information on when this title is hitting and kind of how it's all going to play out. And then we also know our next Captain America, the Filipino American college student who's fighting for student loan forgiveness. No, I'm just kidding. But let's talk about first Jonathan Hickman's Inferno. So a bunch of things going on here. This title and so to kind of catch you up, I mean, Jonathan Hickman 2 years ago, roughly, put out House of X, Powers of 10. And that kicked off this whole new kind of X-Men universe. And we got kind of a new status quo for the X-Men, which saw them, eliminate death, relocate to Krakoa, set themselves up with a kind of mutant drug purchasing program, and a number of other changes. But one of the biggest aspects to it, kind of two big aspects to that, were first the secret revealed of Moira's mutant powers, which allowed her to kind of live through different lifetimes, different realities, and basically her decision to kind of do things differently, which kicked off this entire kind of new status quo with Professor X and Magneto and kind of a very different version and vision for the X-Men. And then it went quiet on Moira. We didn't see her for a good year, and briefly made like a one-panel brief appearance in the Ten of Swords event, and then just recently reappeared in X-Men, where it seemed to kind of kick off or tie or tease this Inferno event, because in it, Mystique is sent to go invade basically stop the Nimrod program from coming online at Orcus. And she fails in that mission. Nimrod does come online. And part of that mission was, in order to do it, Xavier, if she was successful, would move Irene, Destiny, her wife, to the front of the line to get resurrected. She's been dead for a bit of time now. She failed, so that didn't happen. But what Mystique knows that, in theory, Professor X, Magneto do not, is that Irene left a bit of a prophecy that if Mystique was not given the opportunity to have Destiny revived, to burn it all down. And so that, in theory, leads us into Inferno. So Jonathan Hickman will do 4 issues. It is a limited series. It's not an ongoing. It is not an event, or maybe it kind of is an event, because there are books that are going to tie into Inferno. There is more than just this 4 issues will have an impact on the rest of the series, and I would suspect there will be some level of guidebooks or one-shots or other things also playing into this. Maybe not. Maybe Marvel will show restraint, but who knows. But for the core series, it's 4 issues, and they're each 40 pages. And the 40 pages sound like they will be drawn by different artists. So each issue by a different artist. They're saying the Valerio Schiti, who did Sword and Empire, will do the first, it sounds like. The other issues, R.B. Silva, Stefano Caselli, and they mentioned those two, and in theory, maybe the final issue is kind of a jam of all 3. We're not entirely sure, but this is basically promises to bring more revelations from Moira McTaggart, kind of pull back the curtain a little bit more on what she's up to. There's some questions to be answered. We'll bring Nimrod and his revenge against the mutants into play, vicious power plays, and more in this pivotal chapter of X-Men history. So this is key to kind of the fall-winter event and what's going on. This will begin in September, and it will run through the rest of the year, basically September through December. And like I said, some expectation that there will be some other books and some other things kind of playing into all this. The teaser image by Mark Brooks is a playoff of kind of his initial kind of teaser image that he did. In this one, rather than Xavier and Moira kind of sitting in unison, we have them facing away from each other, expressing some discord. We see characters like Wolverine, Jean Grey, and Gambit seemingly dead or in peril on the ground. Polaris is there as well. We see kind of a number of members of the Five who have been the Resurrection Mutants. We see Doug Ramsey clinging on to his wife like a little bitch. We see a number. We see Shaw walking again. We see maybe some revenge that's going to come the way of Kate Pride, and then we have Exodus and Mr. Sinister on opposite ends of the cover. We have a very prominent position for Storm. So a couple things all going on here. But anyway, this 4-issue event, we now have a date. We have the creative teams. We have some timing for when this is all going to play out. So this is the one kind of, I don't want to say ominous, but and nobody is saying anything like this is the end of Jonathan Hickman's run or anything else, but the wording they are using is a shocking payoff to his X-Men saga. So we are, supposedly we're going to make good on Mystique's threat to burn the nation of Krakoa to the ground. We're going to see how badly this can kind of go wrong, and in theory is supposed to turn the X-Men lineup on its ear, and we will see how all that goes. We still have a couple weeks. The Hellfire Gala has begun. That book is for someone, but some more kind of revelations are still coming out of that. But it sounds like Inferno is the big one that we're looking forward to. So that's in September. The other bit of news, as I mentioned at the beginning, the United States of Captain America, which has been kind of running. This is a series where Sam and Bucky and Steve and maybe John Walker, it's unclear. He seems to come and go in the solicitations. They're traveling America looking for Captain America's missing shield, which seemed to vanish at some point, and why not go on a road trip to recover? If you don't put one of these new Apple AirTags on the shield so you can locate it with Find Friends, then this is what's going to happen. You're going to have to just wander around the country trying to find this thing. So Marvel's newest Captain America is debuting. We've seen the Captain America of the Railways. We've seen the Captain America of the Unhoused. I think that's the same thing, actually. I think it's the Unhoused Railways people. We've seen the Kickapoo Tribe, Captain America. We've seen the Captain America of the Marginalized people. This is the Ari Abaganyani, a Filipino-American college student who is basically... she's trying to be a hero to their local community. It's a campus of the private university she attends. She's called into action when she learns a friend of hers is being abused by a wealthy legacy student that the authorities won't prosecute. So Ari has a strong sense of justice, admires the ideals of Captain America, but the Captain America she is inspired by is the Bucky Barnes version, the one who was Captain America for all of a half second. She hates bullies, but is willing to use sneakier, shadier tactics to deal with them. And she knows that you can't always win by playing by the rules, so she kind of reflects Bucky's influence with the Winter Soldier kind of jacket and the face mask, but she's got kind of a Captain America skirt. So it's kind of a mashup of the two. And yeah, so... fighting for student loan forgiveness. I'm just kidding, but that would be funny. No, sounds like she's fighting against the wealthy, douchey student whose parents bought them into college by, pretending that he was on the rowing team. I don't know. Anyway, this Ari's, like all of these Captain Americas, these are backup stories. So what's curious about this book, and we're about to see kind of what this looks like with our first issue, is that the main story is this hunt for the shield. And then the backup story are these extra Captain Americas. And I don't know how, again, I'm curious how long these backup stories are going to be. I can't imagine they're more than, 10 pages. I imagine they're probably less. The main story is being written by Christopher Cantwell and Dale Eglesham, who is writing the lead story. These stories in the backup are, it's puzzling because all the promotion are about these other characters. I don't get a sense that these other characters are going to team up together to be like the Captain Americas, but maybe that's where this is all heading. I don't know. But it's a lot of hype and a lot of marketing for 5 characters that are a backup. I mean, that seems puzzling to me. I have to believe there's some kind of plan beyond all of this where the Captain America cosplayers team up and fight crime or something. I don't know. I'm curious to both see the sales and kind of where all this heads because it's gotten a lot of attention and I'm not entirely sure why. But question goes to you. Are you buying Inferno? Are you in? Are you excited to see where all that goes? Follow Hickman's saga? Or are you buying into this Captain America and excited to see these new versions? Let me know in the comments below. People are always saying like, there's been decades of legacy characters and it's time to do something new. So are you buying this something new? We've got 4 new Captain Americas. This is a 5-issue limited series. So there's still 1 Captain America to go. What will that be? I'm guessing some like bro from New Jersey who's really into bro culture. That's what we'll get, the bro Captain America. That's what it's got to be. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you're reading. Like and subscribe, and thanks for listening.